Hi, Luxies. Welcome back to the Luxury Live Show. Of course, beside me is my co host, Kat L. And happy holidays, guys. Today is actually our last episode of the year. Can you believe it?
Yeah, wow. The year just flew by. I
It
I made sure I wore
did.
green and red for Christmas.
Well, I didn't do any red, but I did wear, I guess, the nail polish
Nah.
finally, the brown nail polish from
Nice.
Chanel that you gave me. I finally did my nails
Wow.
yesterday. I was procrastinating this whole time. I was like, oh, but I have to do it for the holidays. And
Yeah, me too.
so yes, I'm wearing the Chanel lipstick and the new nails.
That's very nice.
But yes, thank you for joining us, guys. So, as I said, this is our last luxury live show of the year. We'll be having a 2 week break and then come back fresh in January. And then we'll come back. I think our first episode will be with the members. But anyway, just keep up with our community page because that's where we're going to post the calendar eventually. Between Kat and I will update it eventually. And yeah, so I thought today, because it's the end of the year, it's the last episode, I thought it would be nice to just do a chit chat and reflecting back on some of the less successful purchases that we've had between Kat and I. And we're strictly speaking about the ones that we bought this year, right? Just choosing stuff that we bought this year and why they were less successful, and then maybe what lessons we might have learned or did not learn. I don't know. Depends what they are. And yeah, and we'll go from there. And the other housekeeping is that tomorrow we do have another luxury live show with the members. That is also our last one with the members tomorrow. And I have received a few more homework from you guys, so thank you so much. We'll have so much fun tomorrow. There's gonna be so much eye candy and storytelling. So yeah, I'm excited about this. Okay, I guess I'll start with my first one. I'll start with the ones that are on the thumbnail. How about that? Because
Yes,
it's funny.
yes.
Although I have given an update on the Chanel 22 bag, I still get a lot of questions randomly like, what happened to your 22 bag? Like, there's some people that still maybe are not watching every video or skipping the portions where I talk and then didn't get it. So I'm just gonna say it here. Um, for me, the 22 bag is a less successful bag, and it's obvious why, because of the issues that I've come across. And although my issue was not very bad, like it just started having a bit of the scuffing of the leather, and mine was not visible yet. It was not on the outside of the bag, it was on the inside where the chains are rubbing. It just was a bit, how should I say? It was a bit worrisome because it started pretty early on. It was a brand new bag, and I think what made it, I guess it made it. I love this bag. Like, let's just put it out there first. Like, I still want to buy this bag back. I really miss it from the point of view of the practicality. I really meant every word that I said in my review. I love that bag so much. I think it looks great, actually. I don't think about garbage look or whatever. I love the bag. So would I still recommend it? I say from the style point of view, yeah, I like it a lot. I still want it myself. But I think what ruined it for me a little bit, I have to say it, and I'm being very candid here. So it's social media. Social media ruined it for me. Like, um, before I even knew to kind of use my microscopic eyes to check my bag, I was just bombarded by messages over messages, DMs, and this and that to tell me that this bag is bad. There's issues. Everyone's having issues, and it ruined the experience for me. I have to admit. So yeah, it was a bit disappointing, and I'm not blaming on social media, but I am saying that it did ruin the experience for me. It was supposed to be my birthday bag, and I also bought it out of a lot of excitement. At that time, I was still, if you guys remember, I was still waiting on my offer, and it was just a lot of just push and pull in my head as well. And so yeah, it was a less successful bag. I still really want it, and some of you told me that you bought it after seeing my video and that you still love yours and that you haven't had issues, which I'm so glad. But yeah, that clears the issue, right? Oh, and the update, right? The update is that my store having investigated, they did offer me a credit. So they didn't say anything about that it's a defect or anything. They didn't confirm any of that stuff or anything, but they did kindly offer me a credit, which I used towards the purchase of my Coco handle. So that was the update. So those of you who still are asking what the update is, that is the update. I'm not going to repeat myself again because I think I talked about it a few times already.
Yeah, I think that bag, even for me, I mean, like, firstly, when it first came out, I was like, no, it's a it's a
I
big
know.
garbage bag. But I always try to be fair, so I actually checked it out, and I can see why you love it so much. It is actually a very, very functional bag. And with social media, it's sort of like a two-edged sword. Like, it's great that everybody was concerned and quickly texted you so you could take action on it. But at the same time, you do wonder if was it so bad. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's there are pros and cons to everything. So good that your store got you the credit, and you are able to resolve the issue. But you do say that you want it again, right? So would
Yeah.
you still buy it
So,
again?
well, okay. So here's what my thought process was this. Even before I had brought it back to my store, I saw the issue. It was rubbing underneath the chain, which, like I said, was very minor, and it just started. And I didn't have any issues on the outside of the bag yet. So for me, it was more about showing them what is happening, and I just want to hear what they're gonna say. And if they were to just say that's normal wear and tear or whatever the reason, whatever they say, if they say that they can't help me, that it is what it is, I would have just kept using it because it was sort of fine, right? Like it did start rubbing, which I'm not going to say that it's a good thing. It's not a good thing because it was not a 10-year-old bag or a 3-year-old bag. It was not that old. It was 1 month old. So, I don't want to like make the situation sound less severe. It was not severe, but I didn't want to make it sound like it's trivial. So I showed it to them and I was just waiting for them to say what it is. But instead, I guess they knew me, right? They knew me and I am a longtime client of my store. They just offered me a credit. And so I'm happy about the customer service. I guess in the end, I just took it because they did offer it. And at the end of the day, I do also wonder, like a lot of you mentioned to me, I do also wonder, is mine just starting and it will get worse? I wouldn't know that. But if they had not done anything, I would just kept using it. So that could have been something that I could have found out later as well, whether there could be more issues down the road and then brought it back again. But then see, that was like a decision that I could have maybe made at that time. If I refused the credit, I could potentially have issues, which we wouldn't know, right? And then having to bring it back. Would I want to deal with that a second time? Probably not. So anyway, in the end, I still miss it. The price hasn't changed, so that's good. Would that be something that I would consider in the long run, maybe in the secondhand market when there's a saturation of 22 bags out there and the price is much better than retail? That's also something I could consider. But then if it comes with wear and tear, then I would have to accept that. So yeah, it's quite tricky, the 22 bag, because I do hear a lot of people that don't have issues whatsoever, and I'm so happy for them. And then I do hear people do. So I don't really know what to say to that.
Yeah. So I'm pulling a comment out from Catherine. I purchased my 22 bag in black with silver hardware and use it on a daily basis. I guess I'm one of the lucky ones and not having any issues. I rarely run into people wearing it. It's just popular on social.
Okay.
I've only seen, yeah, to be fair, I've only seen a couple of people with that bag in real life. I do have a friend who just purchased it. So I don't know. I wonder if Chanel will do like what they did for the 19 for the 22, where they made adjustments after the first launch, where or maybe one or two launches, right, where they either shorten the chain, they change the leather, they make little tweaks to the bag because it's popular enough that they continue to make it and just make it better.
So the other subscriber that told me she bought the 22 bag after seeing mine also bought a silver letter hardware one with black and silver, so the same one as Catherine, and she also loves it. She doesn't have any issues. She loves it so much that she said if it starts having issues, she'll just wear it to death, and that's also something that you could do, right? Like a lot of people
Yeah.
are, there's a spectrum. There's a lot of people that are very neutral, and then there are people that are careless. They don't care what happens to it. They'll just use their items. And then there are the oversensitive, overprotective kind, which I'm not saying either of this, any of these people are bad or good. It's just what it is. But it does create a lot of talk, like a lot of discussion around this, and sometimes it can get quite involved and quite too excited, I guess. Anyway, it really did get to me. It did, because I went from very excited to very like concerned all of a sudden, right? It's just all of a sudden after I posted my video, everyone told me, and I've had the bag for a month, right? At that point. Oh yeah. Anyway, that was the 22, and that was the update. I'll let you know when I'm gonna get it back. I don't know when, because at this point I am quite knee deep and in Hermes. So yeah, we'll see. So that's my first one.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with something not so expensive, but for me it is kind of disappointing for this year. As you know, I love not only handbags, I love to buy makeup, and I have every time there's a launch, I'm pretty sure I'll get something from it. But for some reason, I was cleaning up my stuff and I realized that I won't be buying any more of this makeup from Lisa Eldridge, and it's her lipsticks. So they are my cheaper, worst purchases this month. Having said that, they're not cheap because I need to buy like 200. I think it's like 200 pounds per purchase, or maybe 150. It's a certain amount to get free shipping. So I'll always buy a set, right? A bunch of things. And it's a few £100s per purchase, which is quite a lot of money for makeup. Okay, so why do I say that her lipsticks for me are not are I love the color. I think they're so beautiful, but they break. Okay, so I have a couple that yeah, they break. So let me just show you. They're broken.
Oh.
They all break.
How many did you buy, and they all break?
I think I have a feeling it's the weather here in Singapore. Hang on.
And it's only Lisa Eldridge's lipsticks that break.
And it's only Lisa Eldridge's lipsticks. Like, here's another one. Look, it's this is the new one that I bought this year. And what I'm showing you is the old ones, because I was like, oh, I just got this.
Yeah.
Like in summer, I think it was summertime, and then I was like, oh my god, what did I do? Then I reviewed. Let me just show you my lipstick stash, okay? Just don't be shocked.
These are all from that brand?
No. So
Oh,
I
no,
have
I see from
1,
Chanel.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got like a lot of her lipsticks.
Uh-huh.
There are 2 or more here. These 2 more here. They're also broken. And all these
Oh.
others that you see on my top here, they're all Chanel and all whatever. They're fine. They're even older. So for
Are they overly
some,
soft and creamy? Is that why?
sorry, what?
Are they more soft and creamy?
Yeah, they are. They are softer. They're creamier. The
Oh.
texture is it's. I mean, basically, it just feels so great. But I opened it and because I opened, I'm like, oh my gosh! And I try to put it back in, which is why it's messy. But they break because when I try to put it, it just snaps off the bullet. Basically,
Wow.
that's about that's like 500-600 pounds wasted in a way because I can't salvage it. I can just only like use it. So for me, Lisa Eldridge's lipsticks for me is I'm bringing it because I have one this year and broke. But overall, I'm not gonna buy them anymore
Oh,
because they just don't.
wow.
Yeah, they just don't. I think it's the weather here. They maybe it's so soft. It's the ingredients that she uses. They snap and yeah. Unfortunately, though they are so beautiful in the colors. She has such great formulas. But unless my room is air conditioned all the time, they're not suitable for where I live. So if any of you have the same issue, let me know. I'm just curious. Like I did check online, like YouTube, and there are some people who experience the same issue because of the softness of her products. They snap, they break. So now I just recently got her eyeshadow palette. So I'm gonna see what again, her form. She has such a unique formula. I'm just wondering for eyeshadow, the issue with eyeshadow when they have such soft formulas is hard pan. And hard pan is basically the eyeshadow, the powder. As you use it, it creates this hard surface on the top
Uh-huh.
because your brush is constantly pressing onto it. It's quite common with powder products. I just wonder if that's gonna happen to her stuff as well. Like her eyeshadows is so beautiful. I'm using it today, but I suspect. Yeah, I
You
suspect
suspect
because
that it will? Oh, I
yeah,
didn't know that that was so what is the term hard pen?
it's
Hard.
called hard pan. It's very
Okay.
common for powder products that are very maybe they're not pressed into the pan, or maybe it's the formula, right? When you first buy it. So when you put it on your eyes or your skin, there's oils on your skin, right? And then when you go back into the powder, that movement of brushing onto the powder,
Uh-huh.
as well as the type of brush you use and the, the, the oils or whatever is your skin, when it mixes on that top layer, it creates this thing they call hard pan. It doesn't spoil the product, but it's just basically powder is turning into a solid.
Yeah.
So you need to scrape off that top layer and get back into the product. It's just wasteful. And
Uh-huh.
some products will just, you can't get it off because it sinks in. So I'm just wondering that'll happen. It's not a big issue. It's just that, when companies make products, there are, certain things that give and take. But for her lipsticks that I bought this year, 2 of them have already broken. That's like 100
Mm,
pounds down the drain.
that
And
is so
then,
sad. I guess
yeah,
you could technically use a brush just to
which is why I still have them, because, I mean, the colors are beautiful, but I can't bring them out, right? Because
yeah.
they're like so nasty looking now.
Oh, that's too bad.
Bad.
So about the hard powder, right? I did notice that before when I used to use Tarte blushes, they do get hard
Yeah,
after a
that's
while,
called
and
hard
I didn't
pan.
know why. I thought it was
This
all
is
powders like that.
No, it depends because maybe what happens
Mm,
is it's so it could be over pressed into the pan as well. The powder is
mm,
so stuck inside. So naturally, what we would do is we'll take our brush and we will rub it really hard. So this action of rubbing on top of the pan, as well as the pressure, it creates heat. and then it sort of hardens the top layer. Yeah,
Okay.
and
Wow.
the only way to get through that hard pan is to scrape it off and get back into the powder.
Wow. Well, I don't have my Tarte blushes anymore. And like I said before, I use it up. I use it almost up, and then until I see the bottom of the pan, then I toss it and buy a new one. So I'm not using a Tarte one anymore. So I haven't had any issues so far with the stuff I'm using. But wow,
Yeah, so
I'm really surprised about the Lisa Eldridge, because I hear, like, I don't watch makeup videos, but I do hear anyone who's getting ready and they mention her name, I'm like, oh, I can recognize that name very often. So
I do wonder. I mean, like it's nothing to do with it's bad products, but I think it is the fact that it's really humid here. It's hot. It's for her product being so soft, it melts. It's softened. So when you put pressure, especially on lipstick, it snaps. You're like, oh,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
So, I'm not a makeup artist. So usually makeup artists would say, it's okay. They'll dig out the whole thing and then they will they'll pot it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry
but that's
now.
annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just
Okay.
annoying. So I still have them. They're beautiful. I'll use them up, but yeah, you won't be seeing me buying any more lips,
Yeah,
Lisa.
makes sense.
Or even it'll be a really, really rare occasion. It has to be something like spectacular because I've
But
had
you
so
might have
many
to
of them.
depot it one day.
Yeah, then I'll just have to remember, right? I'm buying it
Yeah.
knowing that you might have to depot it. I mean, not all her lipsticks are like that. It's just some of the formulas.
I see.
I don't know which
Okay.
one. Yeah. So yeah, that's a bad purchase for me this year. I mean, I bought a lot of things this year, like makeup, but somehow this one is the one that I look forward to. It's like, what?
That's the most disappointing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Stick with Chanel. Chanel makeup is good.
I was gonna ask if Hermes is okay. Like I have a
Oh,
couple of them, but I like the pigmentation of the Hermes lipstick. I think Chanel for me is the formula is so comfortable. It's very light and very moisturizing. Hermes is drying, but the pigment, like the colors, the type of red and oranges that they do is so pretty for me.
yeah. And let me tell you, actually, I was after this because I'm gonna film my whole haul this year. Chanel makeup has been around for long enough, but I think even though Hermes makeup gets a lot of flack from being, like even I said it, right?
Expensive.
It's so expensive. The packaging is like, bleh. Really? But just like their bags, yeah, their formula is really good. The
Really nice,
blush, oh my god, I wear it in the morning. It's still on my face at the end of the day. That's saying something, because it's just it's really good quality. Packaging wise, I think it's a theme with them,
Yeah.
You think about it, right? Because their boxes are like, okay, when you buy ready to wear from them, they just wrap it in tissue and like,
Yeah.
take it. So
But I
packaging
think in
wise,
the end for makeup, it's okay because you never use it anyway. You never use it again anyway, those boxes. It's just good for
true.
presentation, right?
It's the stuff, right? Yeah, it's true. It's the stuff. So the
Even-
lipsticks are great. The powder, I haven't tried the powder, sorry. The highlighter that I have from them is fantastic. The blushes, I'm getting, first time I bought it, I was like, yeah, it's okay. But when I used it and I like, whoa, it's still on my face at the end of the day. I'm like, okay, Hermes, I get you. And the most recent one is where is it? It's the foundation.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this thing. Wow.
Is it overly drying? Because I have an issue with overly drying products.
No,
It
it's
really
not.
shows my fine lines. And I already don't powder. Remember, I don't powder. And it dries.
Right.
Like if the
Right.
product is drying.
No, it's not. It's like a tinted moisturizer between
Would you say it's similar? Because I really like the would you say it's
Yeah.
similar?
This is more glowy because
Okay.
this is more moisturizing. Like if you find this drying, then you won't like this. But if you find that at the end of the day, you do look a little greasy with this,
Oh, I don't look greasy. I look fine with that one.
fine. Then
Yeah.
this, I'd say then you get a tester for this, because for
I have a
me, this,
tester, yeah.
yeah, for me, this at the end of the day, like the whole like 8 hours, I do look a little oily around here because it's just hot. Whereas for this, at the end of the day, I actually look like really good because the oils have mixed together.
Oh,
But they're not very different. Like
okay.
they're not very different. I feel like this, I do look really good at the end of the day. Like I'm like,
Okay, okay.
ooh, what's with my skin?
So maybe it'll be good for me in the summer because we're in the winter.
Yes.
So like in the winter, I can't even wear that little compact that you gave me.
Oh, it's too dry.
It's so drying. Like literally my skin is drying up and you can see all the lines. Like there was a couple of videos where I was like editing and I'm looking on my forehead and I'm like, I don't have these static static fine lines usually. Like you can't really see them, but in that video you could clearly see them every time I move my forehead and I'm like, "Oh my god, it's so dry." Like I was so dry. But I think in
So
the
it's a
summer
summer
it'll be
product for
fine, which is
you.
why I brought it to Hawaii. It was totally fine there because it's
Mhm.
humid. And so you know, the Just Skin is still okay. It doesn't overly dry me, so that's fine. So I think it'll be good for me when it warms up a little bit, the
Yeah,
weather.
maybe spring
Yeah.
and summer will be
Yeah,
okay. But
I think so,
if
yeah.
you're dry lah. But for me, it's like I would like Joe is saying. I wish I didn't like it so much, but it's
You
yeah,
know, if
it's
it's
good.
worth it if it's a good one, I honestly I'm not a makeup person like you all know. And so when I find something I really like, I just want to repurchase the same product, maybe in different colors. And if it works, it just works. So I'd rather just buy what I know works. So I totally understand. They do
Last
cost
forever.
way
Yeah.
more, but I think it's worth it when you like it on yourself. You feel so much better, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
for
that's for
sharing.
me. I
Wow.
started off with something less frivolous, but it is like, annoying.
Yeah, I totally get it. It's still a lot of money and
It is.
it's never pleasant when the product doesn't perform. I mean, it performs, but if it breaks, that's the same as not performing. So
True.
you can't take it out with you. So the foundation is really lightweight. It's more like a tinted moisturizer, really good for humid climate. Very good for sweat, and we sweat a lot. Okay, yeah. So I think for me in the summer, like maybe starting in the springtime, I can maybe go and buy it.
Yeah,
Right now, I'll
I
just
think for
try the samples that I have.
I love
Uh,
the Shantakai, but I do find that this I need to powder if I'm gonna use it like
oh,
the whole day.
really?
Yeah, because it's like a moisturizer, right? So moisturizer tends to have a bit more glow, and because it's like it's hot, it's sweaty. I don't have aircon 24 by
Uh-huh.
7, so I'll start to get like glowy here.
Okay. So I use this exact same one and I don't have to powder. I just find it just good enough that it almost looks like I powdered. It's just like
Mm.
that level. Obviously, we have very different skin tone and also different environment. Like I have very dry skin. Like if you look very closely, right now we're in winter. The other day, my arm, I was so like, oh, it's already happening. Like literally, you can just do this, and then the flakes of skin are coming off of my arm. Like it's just that bad,
Wow.
and it's like doing a little bit on my forehead. And yeah, I just have very, very dry skin. So that is the difference, I think, between you and I. Like I have just very
Mm.
dry skin. It drinks up the product right away. And so if I powder, it'll just show all my fine lines and it's just no good. I rather not powder. I'd rather look a little bit more shiny if it's hot than to powder.
Yeah, maybe that's why the Hermes product, because most reviews on the Hermes product is in colder climates, right? In countries where they have,
Mm.
4 seasons. So when I was listening to buying this, a lot of people like, oh, it's not so great. Look at my lines and all that. But when I used it, I was like, this is good. It's really good.
Maybe,
And it is
maybe,
the
yeah,
opposite.
maybe.
It's the opposite of the lipsticks because I was like, oh my god, it's really good. But then, oh no, what's
I
happening?
see. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it's
I
just
guess the lesson learned here is also just to see, you know, what kind of skin that person has and where they live, right?
where
Has
they
such
live.
a
It's so
huge difference.
important. So
Yeah, yeah,
important.
yeah.
So important. Like I mean, over the years, I've definitely, you know, observed first.
Yeah.
But yeah, with this, with because something is so pricey, right? With Hermes one is like
Yeah.
100 and like it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. It's a tiny little tube, and every time you squeeze out, it's like a pearl size. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, oh my god.
Actually, I thought the Chantecaille was expensive too.
Oh man, no, Chantecaille is better. How much? Chantecaille
It's
has 50
100 and
grams. It's more.
oh, it's more product. Okay,
It's
I
more
don't know.
product.
To
It's
me, it's just
cheaper.
like
The other one is like 40.
I still use quite a bit every time.
I do, yeah.
But
Mine's
yeah,
almost
I still
done.
have like whatever. It works well, so that's why I like it. And the smell is very pleasant. And I like anything like any makeup that is made in Japan usually works quite well on me, I find.
You know what? Hermes one is made in Japan.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that.
Yeah. I didn't know until I was looking. I was like, oh, made in Japan. Anything made in Japan.
Yeah. There's something about the formula that just really works. Okay, thank you, Kat. Okay. I'm going to share my next one, which is also on my thumbnail. And it's funny because I shared my thumbnail since 24 hours ago. And then one of my local subscriber here, she saw and she's like, oh my gosh, I got these boots and I cannot even walk a block in them. And I was like, okay, so I'm not alone here. So I'm going to share, because it's they're new. So I think for a lot of you, you'll not know which ones they are. So I'm just going to share my screen. So these are the ones that I bought. They're called the Fuji boots, and they're a cross between a winter boot and a rain boot. And it's so beautiful. Like, let me just say how beautiful this boot looks, right? It's made with goat skin. It's super nice and plush. Like, it's really, really nice. It's got the Hermes quilting on it. It's nice and plush. It's really beautiful. I bought this color, this exact color, the white color. And then the bottom is made of this nice rubber with, you can see the bottom here. It has a lot of the, what is it called? The, it's good for snow. It's like a cross between a snow boot and a rain boot. That's how they advertised it. And that's the side profile. That's the back profile. And the front, I really liked how the front looks because it's kind of has that nice almond shape, almond toe. So I thought the boots looked so good. And I tried them. Believe me, I bought it in the store. I tried them in person. And that's the model wearing it. So good looking, right? And it's a slip on too. Like you just slip in there. And that's it. You can tuck in your jeans or leggings in there. It's so attractive. And the issue is, so I went there to try it. And I tried it in my usual size, which is a 37.5. And I had my socks. The socks that I was wearing are the like they're the shorter socks though. They're like ankle socks, and they're not super thin, but they're not super thick either. They're kind of workout socks, right? And they're really good socks. They're icebreaker socks, right? And so I was like, it feels very, like when I was there, it feels very loose when I put my feet in there. Like I can feel that every step I take, I almost have to use my feet to hold the boot to take every step. So I thought that, maybe I just needed thicker socks. When I go home, I'll change into thicker socks. Maybe that's the difference, because I don't think it's the length. The length is fine. If I went smaller, which I did try a size down, I tried a 37. It was too short. So I'm like, no, cannot be a 37. And then I was thinking, I was so loose, like my feet was kind of floaty inside in the front, right? Where I feel like there was a lot of room. I was like, I cannot be a 38. That would be too big. So I just took them home anyway. I thought it was maybe just the sock was too thin. I come home, I try on several different kind of socks, thicker socks, thinner socks, all kinds of socks, and it feels the same thing. And so I'm like, okay, that's not right. It makes no sense. So I started trying it with, because I do wear orthotics too. I have so many orthotics at home. I have custom orthotics. I have half orthotics, full orthotics. I have leather ones. I have the foam ones. I have the ones that are just inside my shoes. You know, like I have brand new sneakers that, you know, you can just pull out that pad on the bottom.
Mm.
I tried a bunch of different orthotics in them and it just didn't work. In fact, once you put an orthotic inside, it made the shoe so
Tight.
like it had no space anymore. Like it was so tight.
Mm.
And I was just like, okay, why is this boot so ill-fitting? Like if you just normally wear socks, doesn't matter what socks, it's too loose. Literally, every step you take is like you lift your whole feet instead of just doing a regular step. And so I went back to the store, I brought it back, and I said, maybe I need a 38. Like I'm just like I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, I think maybe I need a 38. Maybe I need a 38 and put my orthotics in it. Maybe it'll work then. And I brought my orthotics with me to the store on top of that because I just want to do it in the store. I don't want to bring it back home again and try a bunch of different things. And it didn't work again. It's still like 38 was after I put the orthotics in it. It's still very ill-fitting. There's just a bunch of different things that I can describe, like just the ankle part or maybe like the arch part. It was just so uncomfortable. And because this part here, the rubber on the bottom is so stiff, there was no flexibility. And so it just was very ill-fitting. I don't even know who can wear these. I'm suspecting people that have a certain feet that fits exactly the mold of this, because if you're not exactly the mold of this boot, then you cannot wear it. And I thought I was the only weird one because, as you all know, I have a lot of issues with shoes in general. So I thought maybe it's just me. But then when this subscriber told me that, oh my gosh, she bought these boots, she was so excited for them because she wanted to bring them to Paris to wear. And she wore it one day. She said she walked one block and she said she wanted to die. Like that's how painful it was for her. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. These boots are really weird. And they're so good looking, but they're really weird. I know for Singaporeans, you guys don't care because you will never need this. But I'm just saying, like for us in the winter, I thought this was the most beautiful boot, like new boot that they made. And I was so excited for them, but they don't fit well. They're so odd, ill-fitting. It's very strange.
Interesting. But with shoes, you know, with shoes, I think it's challenging. Like, because it's got to fit your foot perfectly, then it'll be comfortable, right?
Yes, but if okay, like I would say there are shoes that are slightly uncomfortable at first, but you can still sort of live with them. For me, luckily, I just tried a bunch of different inserts and my different socks, and I just figured I'm like, okay, there's something wrong with me, and I brought it back and I tried it again, different size again, and like it still didn't work. So I thought maybe, you know, usually even when a shoe is slightly uncomfortable, it maybe just needs breaking in. That I think is still a bit more normal, but this one was just painful off of the bat. And if you just can't walk, if each step you take,
Yeah.
you literally have to lift each leg and your whole foot and your whole leg, because remember, these are boots too. They're a bit heavy. It's just so terrible. I don't know. I don't understand. Um,
Interesting. So do you
Anyway,
return them?
I,
Any?
I I'm just wondering who bought these, because I saw
Hmm.
one of my friends, she did buy these and she seemed to like them. I haven't really asked her if in the end it still worked out for her or not, but I just don't know how these could possibly fit anyone. It's very strange. It's like it has structure but not enough, and once you try to add more structure, then it's too little structure, then it cramps up your feet. And then I don't have narrow feet and I don't have wide feet. My feet are quite normal, so I don't know. If anything, I
Hmm.
have a bit of a flat feet. So yeah,
Such a shame because they do look kind of cool. Yeah.
they're actually
Maybe.
really nice. I can show you uh on only on my phone. I was so happy when I got them because I was like, oh, and it's white too. It's like so striking. I even have like all these photos where I was gonna do like a whole series of like an unboxing on Instagram because they're so
Oh.
nice. And this is how they look like. They look so nice, right?
Mm.
But I couldn't keep them. I was just feeling so strange. Like, obviously, I took these pictures for memory, but as I was trying them on, as I was taking these pictures, I'm like, is it normal that I hurt even just standing in them? Like, I'm like just so worried
Mm.
about another pair of expensive shoes that don't work for me because it's happened to me many times. Expensive shoes that I bought many times that don't work for me. And in the end, I always have to either um, end up selling them at a loss, and that is it, right?
Such a
So
shame.
yeah,
But it's a good thing that you found out early before you started walking in them.
for
Then,
this one, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because you'd be like, oh, maybe do this, and you start walking, and then you can't even return it. So,
Yeah, you know, in the past, so here's what I learned about these boots. In the past, I would kind of settle for a little bit of discomfort, thinking that, oh, you know, maybe I just need to get used to them and whatnot. And that was a mistake because all these shoes that I thought that, oh, they're almost perfect. Well, at least look wise, they are pretty perfect, but like comfort wise, they were not. There was always something that bothered me. I always told myself, but you know, maybe it'll be fine or whatever. But just because you know, like you're in your head, you know that something you don't like because it'll make you feel very painful, you just don't want to reach for them. You never end up reaching for them because you'll always just wear something
mm,
else before you even reach for them. And so they end up just staying in the corner and never worn. And then I just end up selling them because I don't even want to start wearing them and then I can't sell them anymore. I'd rather lose a bit of money and just sell them. And so for these, I knew right off the bat that I cannot settle. I learned
mm,
never to settle with shoes anymore because I'm like, I'm done settling with shoes. If they don't fit when I try them, and if I can't walk around my house feeling like a normal person, then I'm not settling. I'd
mm.
rather return them, get a credit, sit on the credit forever. I'd rather do that. Plus, it's not like I'm never going to go back to HERMES to buy things anyway. So I'd rather return it. If I can
Yeah,
return it, rather return it. Yeah.
that's that's important. Wearing shoes, that's very important. Sort of reminded me of one pair that actually I bought this year, but maybe I'll talk about it at the end. Yeah, I'm still figuring it out.
I'm wondering
Which
which
is why I
pair.
haven't put it in. It's the shoe that I got from the sale, Hermes sale.
Oh, the pointy
The pointy
flat.
one, they're so beautiful. But
Yeah.
I have worn them twice and they kill my ankles.
Oh no.
That they pinch at the back. I'll grab them later, but yeah, I totally
Yeah.
forgot about them. They are, it's because they use harder leather, and I'm just kind of thinking it'll soften. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
holding my judgment right now because I feel like the second time they feel a little softer, but at the back it's still pinching at the back. So we'll see if it appears next year's worst purchase.
Then you
Then
know why.
like, then you'll know why. Because I'm still like figuring it out. Like just been wearing them in the house, stepping on the back of the heel, like and like, kind of okay. I don't know. Maybe I have high tolerance. I'm like, come on, you're Hermes shoes. I'm gonna use you. Yeah. So, because so far, I think I have a few friends who say that they're very comfortable. But for me, it just pinches. It's not that it's, it just pinches at the back. And the first time I wore them, I got some blisters. So it was not fun.
Oh, I hate blisters. It's like once you get them, even though it's such a small little thing on your feet, you can't walk anymore. It's just like
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time you avoid, like every step you take, you avoid that area, right?
Every step you take,
Yeah.
I'm like, ow,
Oh
ow,
my gosh. Yeah, shoes so hard. I
ow.
I don't know. It's not even an age thing, I realize. It's just, But especially with age, you just are even less tolerant. So definitely, I say don't settle with shoes if they don't work.
Yeah.
I'd rather you just give up on them earlier, even if it means losing money. I've lost so much money selling a few shoes, but I had to because I just don't want to suffer anymore. And with shoes
Yeah.
is the worst, suffering with shoes, right? Because you're walking, standing in them. And I have to agree, Hermes shoe sizing is very inconsistent. I still buy Hermes shoes. There's two styles that I can walk, and I do find them comfortable-ish. But they're all different sizes. It's very strange. It's very strange. Okay.
Yeah, so let me just pull this out. YPF. What shoes? I'll show once I'm done with all the rest of the things. I'll just pick it up from outside. Yeah,
Okay.
they're so beautiful. I love them so much. The
They
look
are
is gorgeous.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really nice. Yeah, but I'm holding my final judgment until it softens because I haven't. Sometimes with these shoes, gotta give them a bit of a chance, but it's either how many more times do I have to get a few more blisters before they become the most comfortable shoe?
Yeah. Well, I recently just bought more of those tapes because
Oh
I
yeah,
mentioned last
kinda.
year in my worst purchases that the sheep sandals were the worst. So those are another very, 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 very popular Hermes dad sandals that everyone owns. And I happen to really like mine too, like how they look, and everything is comfortable except the actual stitching that is literally cutting through my skin every time I step. And so my remedy, and that's what I do with all the sheep sandals that I own now, I add that piece of microfiber tape on the entire piece of leather, so no seams are touching my feet, and I have very thinner skin and sensitive dry skin. Like, again, my dry skin doesn't limit to just my arms and my face. It's all over my body. In fact, my feet are probably the driest. And so I bought even more tape, but I bought like the medical grade one, which
Mm.
is actually, it may be more strong, but it maybe it has less plush material in it. But I think, and in any case, that's why I bought a big roll. I'll just go grab them when you mention your next one, because
Mm.
anytime any shoe is scratching me, I'm just gonna put a tape on it. I'm
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
cannot live
You
with
know
shoes
what?
that are scratching me and making me bleed. It's just it's so terrible. And ever since then, the sheep sandals have worked wonderful for me
Yeah,
because the sandal itself is nice. The base, the everything is nice. It's just the seams that are cutting through my skin that's not good.
there's a theme going on right here between the two of us that we have no patience anymore. It's like a little bit like,
How
no,
was
that's
it
it.
bleeding?
Yeah. No, I mean like I say a few years ago, you may be like, oh, maybe I'll just no, I'll give it a while, maybe it'll soften. But now it's like a little bit like, nah, that's it. No, no patience. Don't
No,
even
now I
try.
buy a brand new pair, I put a tape on it. That is it. I buy a brand new pair of shoes, I put tape on it because I know exactly where it makes me have issues, and I solve the issue right away, so it doesn't give me any issues.
No patience. That's it. No chance, no patience, nothing.
I don't know if it's no patience. I'm just being proactive right here. And I'm gonna share
I
that
like the
because
way
I
you
know
put
it's
it,
not just
proactive.
me too. After I shared that, several of you also told me that you're so surprised that no one mentioned it. I'm like, okay, I'm not abnormal here. I am totally normal. But then I'm sure some other people that don't have issues, either their skin is very good, always very moisturized and thick, or I don't know. I honestly think that is the only difference, because they cannot be always cutting me and then not cutting some other people. That makes no sense.
Mm,
Yeah.
It was rough as well when I tried it. After you told me, I was, oh yeah, it is kind of rough, huh? At the
Yeah.
bottom.
Anyway, I'll go grab what I bought.
Okay.
I can
All
even
right,
link
I'll
it
talk about the
later.
next one. I'll talk
Yeah.
about the next one. So my next piece is actually what I'm wearing right now. It's this top, this micro tee. And again, we use the word worst, and I do feel like it's the worst And it's not because it's not beautiful. I love this top so much. But my lesson learned is that if I were to buy a micro tee from Hermes again, and if it's this material, I would get it in a bigger size. So I'm always a size with the t-shirts, the one that's 100% cotton. I'm usually 34. I can wear a 34 because cotton will stretch, especially if you wash it. So it feels very comfortable, very loose. But this is also a 34. And you don't see me wear it very often in my videos, and I actually don't wear it out. This is probably maybe the second time. It's because this material, this cotton material, is a slight stretch. It's like a stretch jersey, and it hugs me in all the wrong places. Okay. Let me just try to stand up. It's hard to see, but it's right here that it's tight. It's right here. So when I wear it, it gives me a belly, like it just wraps around that muffin. I'm like, wait a minute, what is this? It's not that, I mean, I already do have it. Like, don't emphasize it anymore. But because it's a tighter stretch jersey, and Hermes cuttings tend to be a bit more singed in. This is an expensive problem to have.
Yeah, I totally agree with ready to wear. Not on this t-shirt. I don't own this t-shirt, but
Yeah. And it's beautiful. So I think my lesson is that if I were to buy macro tees again from Hermes, gotta go size up, especially with this material. Cotton, I think with the cotton, it's okay because like I have one, I'm looking at it. They do stretch, right? Now it's the 34 looks like a 36 because it's so big right now. I wash it so many times. But this, it's like a scuba diving top, and it's tight. And because it's straight cut, can you just, I don't know, it's like, it's wrapped, obviously the camera cannot see, but it's wrapping.
I can't really see it because honestly, you're so thin already. But what if maybe you just have to wear high waist shorts to like and tuck it inside?
Maybe. But you know, I just like to wear that and okay. The other thing is because of the size, it cuts, it's just the ending of the top is just underneath the fold. So yeah, it's just underneath the fold. It's right here.
So it's not very long.
It's not very long. So this whole part here.
Yeah, you know, just like their shoes, their micro tees. In fact, the ready to wear, the sizing is so strange. I'm anywhere between a 34 and a 38 in their ready to wear. I'm never just one size. So usually if I don't know my size, I'll just go straight to a 36 just in case. If
I should have just gone higher with this. I didn't know. I think here's another lesson. I think it was the last piece.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Yeah. So anyway, Jay, this is funny. Anyone thinking that cat's great? I'm not. I know. I suspected as much because it's so hard to see on camera like this. But it's like I'm wearing an OB, but it's just here. Everything else here is loose, and like the part here is loose, but just there is tight. It's like if you got a belly and then you wear size S, it's just that part that's tight. It's so strange, and I haven't had anything to eat yet. So yeah, I think with this top, it's more expensive as well than the micro tees. And I'm not, even though it's black and white, and you would think I wear it often, I don't, just because it doesn't make me feel good.
So what's the material of this one again?
It's called.
It's not cotton.
It's cotton, but
it's cotton.
Yeah, it's 100% cotton.
Oh,
but it has. It says it's 100% cotton, but it's a different kind of.
Is it okay, I think I know. Is it the same kind of my black and white one is also kind of like that? It's woven.
Yeah, it's like a woven cotton.
Yeah,
It
because that
feels
one, remember I told you when I unboxed it, I was like, I was so surprised because I have flexibility issues. I couldn't get my arm through because I can't flex my arms
yeah.
very well. So I was like, I had to size up because otherwise I can't get it in the t-shirt because it's so stiff, it doesn't really expand. And
Yeah,
so
it
that
doesn't.
one
Yeah,
also
it
I had
doesn't. But
to
it's
size up.
cotton, so it's like it's a little bit
Yeah, it doesn't really
stretchier.
expand very much.
Yeah, it's so strange. So even as I'm sitting here, it's like it's
Oh.
enveloping my whole body. It's not comfortable. I mean, it depends. Some people like this feeling, but yeah, I don't
Well,
quite
everyone
enjoy.
likes to eat, right? If you like to eat, you're gonna have a belly anyway. So that's why
Yeah.
I always kind of think about that too. Like, I want my clothes to let me eat so that I can still look okay after eating. And so I always think
And
about
I
that.
haven't had my
I'd rather
lunch.
them
I
look
haven't
a
had my
little too
lunch.
big than too
It's
small.
not
Usually
flattering.
that's how I like it. A little bit too big is better than a little bit too small because
Yeah.
then you know you cannot eat.
Yeah, cannot. It's
Maybe
so
for this
anyway.
shirt, I think you should wear, but just you have to wear something, tuck it inside high waist pants. That way
Yes.
you don't
So
you see your pants.
I recently bought a couple of high-waisted work pants. So this is the type that I have to tuck in so that
Yeah.
it's just above the belly. It's just yeah, I that's the mistake that you know when I think back about it in the dressing room of Hermes when I tried it, I was like, oh, it's a little tight, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah,
little tight,
yeah.
and I should have just listened again. Not only because I should have just followed my gut feel. My gut said just buy the blue one because I bought two together. I bought the blue, the one that I said looks like the Dance Nation the pattern, and then I bought this one. But this is the one that in the dressing room I had a gut feel like, yeah, maybe it's a bit small. But I love the pattern so much. I mean, I really like this pattern. It's very, black and white and all, but my gut feel told me that this is a little tight.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. That's the problem. When you go there, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, you reason it out in your head, like, oh, it's cotton, it'll stretch. And after the first wash, nah, tighter, tighter.
I know. Ah, no.
Like, oh my God, what happened?
Oh man.
Which is why you don't see me. Actually, if you watch all my videos, right? Because I like to wear my tops and night because they look really nice. I don't wear this very often. Not even in my Instagram. This is probably the second time you're seeing me from the haul until now. It's like
And only understand how it feels, right? Because I see comments, Kat, you have a great figure,
thank
which of
you.
course we all agree. But only you know if it's not comfortable, you feel it. And then
Yeah, I feel
and
it.
then you think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it. I think about it and I feel I'll still wear it, right? I'll still wear it, of
Yeah.
course, but it's not gonna be one of my, if I'm looking at all my clothes, I don't immediately gravitate and grab it because I'm like, today it'll be tight. tight, tight, tight. It's tight in my head. So lesson. Follow the gut feel. If it's not right, don't do it. And if I were to do it, make sure it's a larger size.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Totally. It's like the shoes. It's like every time I think, oh, it's gonna hurt me, I don't want to wear it. And then I never wear it.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, next time. Okay, so the ones that I used to have, the strips that I used to have, which they don't sell anymore, but it's called microfiber moleskin. So it looks like this. It just is super soft. Oh, I wish it would. Can you?
Ooh.
It's not really focusing. Please focus.
Where do you get these? Amazon or?
So this one, I got it at Marshall's one time. It's like out of the blue. You know how Marshalls, they sometimes have like the most random things. And I saw this and I saw this picture. I saw this picture
That's
with
my
the
foot.
feet, with all kinds of like bandages on it, but it's like the different kind of bandage because this is like soft, right? And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, instead of putting on the feet, I'm gonna put it on the shoe. Because if I put it on my feet, it'll only last a day. If I put it
Mm.
on the shoe, it'll last until it peels off, and I could just use it, like use another one and put it on the shoe again. So it's really worked well for me so far. So this one is quite soft. It really feels like the description microfiber is exactly what it is. It's like a sticker, but it's a microfiber. So with my sheep sandals, what I've been doing is I use this size, I peel the whole thing and I put it underneath the strip of
Oh,
that sandal. So the
wow.
whole
Oh.
sandal, like the two seams on that the the strap that is on my ankle, it's all covered and it doesn't hurt me anymore. So
Mm.
this is old, right? I can't buy this anymore, but I bought this online on Amazon. So Annie, I saw your message. I'm gonna link it afterwards in the description. So I bought this on Amazon just now. I just looked for moleskin microfiber and there's so many. And then this one is a different type. I don't think it's not marketed the same way. So this one they market it as a bandage for your feet. It's still for your feet, but the material is slightly different. It's still a cotton fiber, but it's not as soft. Like it doesn't have that
Plush
like
feeling.
yeah, plush fuzzy. This one is still soft, but it's just more cottony. And I showed it to my husband. I'm like, oh, do you think this is okay? He's like, oh, should be fine. Because in the end, I just don't want the shoes to scratch me. And as
Yeah.
long as it has something that is soft, it wouldn't scratch me, right? It doesn't have to be as soft as that other one that I have because I only have one left, and then it's gone, right? So I bought extra for any future shoes, any shoes that rub me in the wrong way, and I just put a sticker on. So this one, the good thing is I can just cut for a long time. I can cut any amount that I need. And this was only 20 something dollars Canadian. So yeah, this one is by Roland and it's like it's from a health manufacturer. So it's actually for your feet bandage, but I'm still going to use it the same way. I'm going to put it on my shoes. So that way I don't ever have to suffer wearing
Mm.
shoes that are like just like they are pretty much perfect, but just one little thing is off. Then I use that. Okay, so I
Link
think
it
it's my
down
turn.
below.
Yeah, I will
Link it,
just
link
link it
it.
after the live or in my next break. I'll link it below. Okay, the next one I wanted to discuss. I think you and I have the same one. Is the denim Chanel bag.
Yeah.
Why was it less successful for me? It's because I never used it. So unlike you, I actually never used it. And it's not the fault of the bag, I will say. It's more because again, I was sort of in between. I was in transition, right? I was sort of like still waiting, almost very impatiently at that point for my offer. And I was just going a little crazy. And Chanel comes up with a really cute denim bag. And I'm like, oh, I must have it. I didn't really want to buy it right off the bat, although I was curious. And then when I had the opportunity to buy it, I just bought it because it was right there, the opportunity. I wanted to go for your size actually, but they only had the large size. So I bought it, but it was also in the middle of winter. Remember? It was in March, right? And so for us it was still very cold. We didn't have summer weather until later in June. And granted, I could have maybe worn it in, sometime in May, sometime in April, maybe, but just here and there. But I didn't. I just didn't really wear it. So it's just one of those things where you're almost waiting for the perfect weather or the perfect occasion or the perfect outfit to go with it. And every time I go to reach for a bag, I just never really did reach for it. And then eventually I had to make certain sacrifices, right? I had to let go of some things to fund whatever I have been spending on, and so that went on the cutting board. So it's sort of a series of events and like emotional events, and then like financial need events that led me to, you know, having bought it and then never used it and then just sold it. And of course, with that one, I actually consigned it, and you know, I didn't lose a ton of money, but it was not very successful. When you buy something you never use and then you lose a bit of money, it's very pointless. So yeah, that was sort of the backstory of that one. It was a beautiful bag for a denim bag. But you know, looking at my collection, did I really need a denim bag? Probably not. Every time I went to reach for like a flap bag, I'd rather put more use in my classic flap, for
Mm.
example. And then if I wanted something a bit more roomy and robust, I'd rather go for my 19, which is why those two, the 19 and the classic flap, are my top purchases. They're not going anywhere. Whereas the denim was sort of like, it was very nice too, but it was always in between those ones. I was always competing with those ones, and it never won. So
Mm.
yeah. So
That's
lesson
unfortunate
learned
because it's
here is
beautiful
to,
bag. It's a
hmm?
beautiful bag. It's a beautiful bag.
Yeah, it was. I think the lesson learned here is to always remind ourselves, right? Especially when you're in different journeys, right? I was sort of still in two different journeys at that point. It was, you know, it's not like I was chasing too many Chanel bags, but every time they come up with something so nice and so special, you just want it. And me being the biggest Chanel fan, but on the other hand, I was also on this other chase. And when you're after so many things, you have to sort of remind yourself, what is the priority? Because
Mm.
you know you will get there, right? You just don't know when. It could be a long or short or medium or regular journey. You just know eventually you'll get there. So you'll just have to trust that you'll get there. You don't see it now, but when you get there, you're gonna look it back in hindsight and wish that you didn't spend all that money in that process, because now you're broke and then now you have to readjust. And so that is sort of the lesson learned, to always keep your eye on the prize. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a different. I mean, for you, when was it? It was April. Was it April?
I got it
Did
in
you buy?
March, probably. You got it a bit later.
I got it a bit later. Yeah. For me, my story with that bag is more. It's me, not the bag. Again, I think I need to listen to my gut a bit more because I know I am not a cloth bag or a non-leather bag kind of person. Like if I want to go with that denim, or whether it's denim or tweed or velvet or any other material than leather, I should go cheap, because when it is those kind of materials, I am constantly worried about the bag, like stains and somebody banging into it, or I snag it. I don't know why, but with leather, I do see wear and tear, but I don't feel so um I don't feel so heartbroken by it. I feel like with leather it can be fixed. When you send it to a spa, they can either paint it or buff it out. They can do something with it. But with bags that are cloth, and you get a snag, pull a thread out, or a stain that goes deep into the material, it's pretty much done for. So I get this feeling, and maybe some of you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think that's how it is when it comes to non-leather bags. So anyway, with the denim bag, I was constantly like oh my god, it was so gorgeous. I always wanted one, and by luck, after I saw it, I said, "Oh, I'm gonna just try." It was already off season, all right, off season, and I got a call and said, there's one right here. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is meant to be. I took it, and I was just wowed by it. I love the graffiti on it. It had so many beautiful colors on the bag. But I used it one time, and firstly, okay, I had my fear of the bag being stained. The second thing is I realized that version of the bag, for the price, is not made the way I thought it would be made. It was kind of flimsy-ish. Like the backing of that bag was not as tough as it should be. But maybe because I'm not familiar with an expensive denim bag from Chanel. Because the backing, the base of the bag just felt a little soft. And then the way that when I carried it and I put my things inside, it just kind of misshapen. So again, I'm not familiar. So maybe it is supposed to be like that. But I was thinking more of like, how is it going to look like in 3 or 4 years? Is it going to be a mashed up looking bag with stains and everything? So I was constantly worried about the bag. And then I realized, nah, soft material bags are not for me, especially from the luxury houses. If I want to buy that kind of denim bag, I would go, I don't know, if Longchamp makes a denim bag, sure. Or what other brands are there? Coach, something that I wouldn't feel so heartbroken if the wear and tear is faster than what I expected. So I'll just use the bag like the Chanel 22, like your friend, right? If it gets all beaten up, just use it. So I think that with me, that would be the case for a denim bag. So yeah, unfortunately, no, it didn't work out. I sold it, but I did make some money from it. I made like $100 from it.
It's a tough market. It's also because I consigned it. When you consign, they do take a commission. So for me, it's not because I didn't try to sell it myself. I did, but I gave myself a time frame and I let the audience know. I'm like, you want to buy something from me, you can. If you don't, that's totally fine. But once I decide to take the video down, that's it, right? I'm just gonna deal with it another way because there is and this has nothing to do with what worst purchases, of course, but there is an advantage in consigning is that you don't have to worry about it. Once it's offloaded to the consignment company, they take care of all the shipping, logistics, and the buyer and getting money from them. So even though you do have to pay them a fee, it's, they do the work for you. And that work is sometimes worth it, right? At the end of the day, I was like, oh, I only want to deal with it for like 2-3 weeks. And after that, and that's it, right? Which is very strange because I always get the after the fact, like these straggler subscribers who find out that, oh, about that bag, I was still thinking about it. Do you still have it? I'm like, then why didn't you let me know like last week when I had it with me? Because I don't care if I sold it myself or if I consigned it, but I've also, after doing a couple of these sales myself, like they're tiring, I don't mind doing it myself for a little bit, but after a while I'm like, okay, the rest I'll just send it to consignment. They deal with it. And so, yeah, I guess for me there was a bit of competition with my bags. So for you, it was after using it, you were kind of a bit more paranoid about the material, right? For me, it was always competition with my bags. And then I just, I want to reach for it, but I never did. And then at one point, it's just like, okay, what can I put on the chopping block? And there it went. So that's what happened.
Yeah, because my Chanel collection is not as large as yours. I only have two. I've got my Chanel classic flat, and now top handle and the caramel. So I'm only 3 bags, and that one was just like extra. So it's like, oh, lovely. But yeah, I'm gonna have to be really careful what I bring in moving forward as well, because again, selling is just really, really, really inconvenient. It's very, very stressful. So I think for me, no more luxury. I might eat my words in the future, but I'm going to try my best and remind myself every time I have purchased a luxury non-leather bag from Chanel or Hermes and all, it doesn't work out. Yeah. No.
Okay. Yeah, I totally understand. I do want to avoid fabric bags too, unless they're on the less expensive side, like more
Mhm.
contemporary branding, because at the end of the day, I just enjoy leather so much more.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just do. I'm just a very big leather fanatic, I think. And I think for me, knowing that it stands to the elements a little bit better, because although we do have nice weather here too, like I complain about the rain and snow all the time, but we do have nice weather. But at the end, you just know that if it does rain, if it does snow, that the leather will still be a bit better than
Yeah. It's
fabric in
hardier.
general. In general. Okay, so I only have one more item, and it's not the worst item, which is why I put it at the last position. And again, this is sort of like a summary of some of our less successful items. We're not including everything. I think between Kat and I, we're going to do our own separate best and worst purchases. And I might include more of like what I actually use and least use, and not necessarily just stuff that I bought this year. But again, I'm going to pull out the image online so that you know exactly which one I'm talking about. So I did buy these sandals and I did wear them, although I only wore them once and I decided that I'm not going to keep them. So in the end, I also consigned them. I consigned them with fashion file actually. I can't find the exact color, but I'll just click on this one because that's the one they have right now. Okay, so this is a US site. So I had this pair of sandal. They're from Hermes. They're called the Easy 30 sandals. And I also got a few questions from you guys, so I can do a nice summary here. So
Mm.
these, I was really looking forward to wearing them. Again, I bought these in the winter, waiting for the summer to come, and then eventually the summer came and I wore them. I wore them once. But the reason why I didn't keep them is not because there's anything wrong with the arch or the footbed or even the cork part here, the platform. It was not even too high in a sense. Like it was very comfortable to walk um from the point of view of like it's not too high of an arch. It didn't make my feet cramp or anything. It's not like that. But I did have two concerns. So one of the concern is that this sandal only came in full size, as far as I remember. I don't know if, let's see. Yeah, it only came in full size. You see, 36, 37, 39. So I got a 37 because they didn't have a 38. In fact, I went and tried a 38 on a future date and it was very big. So I couldn't have fit a 38 anyway. So 37 was my size. I will say that I think like where the leather, like where my foot goes, it was not like so tight that I felt like it was suffocating me, but I did feel that maybe it was on the tighter side. So because it's a summer sandal, you tend to be hotter in the summer versus in the winter when I tried it. Remember, I bought it in the winter, right? I tried it in the winter, but I wore it in the
Mhm.
summer. So there was a bit of a difference there, just the tightness. The other thing, the number two concern I had was because it was a platform, although the arch was completely fine, it was not too high of an arch, but it's just that because it was on a higher platform, I have a fear of falling because I have very delicate joints, and if I fall, I can really injure myself. So I decided to not keep them because I don't know if I can just like every time I wear them, I will think about falling. So I just didn't want that to happen. If I was very healthy and I didn't have any joint issues, then I wouldn't have that concern. But because I had that just inherent sort of doubt in myself, like I just didn't know if I caught on something, a rock or whatever, and I start falling, then it would be really, really bad for me. So that's why I didn't keep them. But they were not uncomfortable per se, but I will say because they only come in full size, you really have to try them and you really have to go and try them on a summer day when your feet are more swollen. because
Mm.
unlike me, I tried them in the winter. My feet were colder. It fit well, but in the summertime, it fit a little tight. The length was still fine, but it was still a little tight. And granted, I probably could have stretched them a bit if I did keep them, right? But yeah, I didn't pursue them. So in the end, I did end up consigning them as well. So they were not terrible. And I think still those who do enjoy them and wear them and like them are totally fine. I don't think this one didn't cut my feet or anything. So it was just more of my personal issue with this. Yeah. They were very nice though. I
Yeah,
think
they
this
were.
version
I
is
remember
nicer.
these pairs when you got them. I was like, oh my gosh, I love these.
So now they have a new version, which I actually don't like. I saw the new version, which is this one. Let me see if I can share the new version. So this version, I saw it in store. Okay, let me remove this and add the new one. Let's see if I can add the new one.
There's a new platform. I love the
Yeah, so it's the same
shoes.
name, Easy 30, but it's
Oh,
not made of cork, or maybe it is, but they've wrapped it around with suede. So
oh
I don't like these
wow.
ones as much because I went and felt those. They were really heavy. The cork ones
Oh,
were not as heavy. These ones were heavy, and I didn't think they were as flattering. The cork ones were more flattering. They felt more summery.
mm.
Yeah.
Maybe because of the contrast between the cork, the
I think
material
so, yeah.
contrast.
The cork really made it stand out and look nice. This one I just thought, I don't know, a bit more cowboy. I don't know. It's just personal preference, obviously. I didn't like these ones as much. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
a
even these
no-go
ones,
in
they only come in
Singapore.
full size. Yeah.
Cute.
So
That's
shoes
your last
again.
one, right? Okay, the denim bag was my last and most worst, like most worst. But I'll just show the shoes. So
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
okay, so these are the shoes. They look so good.
They
It's
do.
here. It's this part here. They pinch in like this on my ankles
So do
right
you think
here.
maybe the size just needs to be a bit bigger? Is that what it
No,
is?
it's the perfect size for me. Anything bigger, it will slip off my foot. I'm a size 37 and a half. So they fit me just nice. But for some reason, yeah, even now I just put my foot inside, I can already feel it like if I go a size larger, they'll be loose, even if it's just half size. But I
So do you
think
think for you it's also a matter of maybe if you had a sticker, like a microfiber sticker will help?
no, I think
No?
this one is not that. I think
So it's
this
more
is a
pressure.
pinch. It's more pressure.
Okay.
So I have a good feeling. That's why I haven't put it inside the video yet. I just feel like maybe the more I use it as it softens, it will feel better. So, but yeah, I've already worn it twice, one full day and one for going out for like a few hours. Both days I came back with super painful back ankles, but the second time was a bit better. The first time was hell on feet.
Oh man. Yeah, I found, which is why I'm so sensitive to buying flats nowadays, because what I have found is flats have to be really flexible, like with the leather or with the whatever material it is, right? It has to be a flexible material so that when you flex, none of any parts of your feet gets pinched or scratched, or like maybe the toe part can be squeezed. It's really hard to make a flat. So far, I will say, like leather flats that I could only wear, the only pair that I had a long time ago, I don't have it anymore, was a pair of Echo flats. I wore them to death. They were so comfortable. But I wore them so much that, because I pronate, then the outside is all,
Used,
like the heel is already all shaven
worn
down
out.
on one
Yeah.
side. And so I had to retire them, and I haven't been able to find another pair because it's either something with the toes or
Mm.
with the heel like you, or just sometimes they're just too flat. But
Yeah.
at the same time, the too flatness doesn't come with the flexibility, because like some flats are really flat, but they're also like a plank. They don't
Mm.
have any flexibility. And maybe not enough shock absorbing either, which is why Oran sandals have not worked for me. They have not become
Mm.
worse purchases because I've never bought them. So I tried many times. I don't know. I don't know if there will be a day where I can find a pair that actually worked for me. I'm not even sure if I'm confident in that at all. But yeah, I think the general consensus that a lot of people love Echo. But okay, about the quality, I haven't been in recent months, but I do find that the styles lately I'm not attracted to. So I don't know if that
Mm.
is considered quality. I do find that their styles back then were a lot more attractive, and I can still find the styles that were cute enough to go with my outfit, even though they were not like on fleek, but they were still cute enough that I was able to pull them off. And so, yeah, it's too bad.
I
I'll let
haven't
you know the
seen.
next time I find an Echo that I really, really like and they're like current, then I'll have to let everyone know.
Yeah, I went into Echo maybe a couple of months ago, and I do agree that the style is a bit.
It's too like I don't know, it's stereotype of course, but it's too looking like comfort footwear. So it actually looks ugly at this point.
comfort footwear. Yeah, yeah, that's the right way to put it. It's just very, in a way, chunky. There's a bit
Yeah.
of chunkiness to the look,
Yeah.
which is, with some chunky looks can look cute, but this one kind of looks protective chunky.
Oh, I
But
know.
the white sport shoes that I mean the white shoes that I talk about quite often. I have two pairs. I bought one. Probably need to retire it. Then shortly after, I mean after many years, I bought another pair. So I'm actually using it. It's just a white, plain white tennis-like sport shoes that Echo has. Yeah, they still look okay, but yeah, anything with heels. Yeah.
I have one pair that is a heel, but it's a platform heel, and I refuse to retire them. They're not that bad yet. They're not to the point where it's really shaven on the bottom yet, and I still wear those ones. But I just it sucks that they discontinue styles. I hate that when they do it because when I find something I like, obviously by the time you think about buying a second pair, like by the time that you know that they're comfortable because you've worn them long enough and they've worked in all conditions, all occasions, and you want to buy them again, it's already gone. So just as a backup, right? I just wanted to buy
Mm.
a backup. They're already gone. So it's really hard, especially when they're more seasonal pieces. They're not like a even sometimes they do have even when they remake a style, but they may do it years later. I noticed they do that too. And it will be a little different. It's not
Like
exactly
a
the
little tweak to it, right? Which is quite annoying.
yeah.
Agree.
Okay, so those were all our yeah, they're a bit more dowdy now. I have to agree. I haven't been able to
Ah,
find any like, oh, like such a cute, nice, elegant style. Haven't. Okay, so Corinne has this question about Vivea shoes. I have 3 pairs from them, and I swear by one pair. The other two, I think it's more the style. So the other two, one of them was too flat for me.
mm,
It's not uncomfortable, but it's just because I have flat feet, like I mentioned earlier. So my feet collapses, and because they are flats, it just makes my feet look very wide, even though my feet are not wide. It's just that the way the point is pointy, but then the middle of my feet is collapsed. So those don't look good, but they are comfortable. The other one, I chose a size too small. So I think I'm more of a 38 in Vevea. So the only pair that I can wear and really walk is the pair that I wore to our meetup. It's the pair that has the bow in front, and it almost looks like a Chanel slingback.
Mm.
So those are the pairs that are a 38, because the other two I got in a 37.5. That one I got a 38, and that's really, really comfortable. So that's the only pair that I am able to stand behind for me, style wise and for comfort wise. So I will say they are good, but you have to really see, the thing is we all have different feet, right? Like I have a normal width feet, but I have a slightly flatter profile. So it depends
Mm.
on where the flatness is, then it won't work for every type of flat shoes, right? It will just look like your feet is really collapsed on the floor. Whereas that slingback style kind of hides where my flatness is, because that slingback portion goes up a bit more on my feet. Okay, instead of just describing, I'm going to try to show a picture of me wearing them. It's so hard, but my shoes are just right there. I can even show the shoe as well. So my favorite pair is the one with the bow with the slingback. Those ones are really cute and comfortable.
Yeah, with
But
shoes, it has to be um yeah, it has to be fitting. And I
yeah,
was just gonna say this kind of almost a similar thing from Sobe. I've learned that if I find a pair that works for me, I just go ahead and buy 2 pairs, sometimes 3. I have hard time finding comfortable shoes, so I now just buy extras. Yeah, it's like for me for pants. When I find a pair of pants that fit me, like I look so good, I'll straight away buy 2 pairs just in case in 2 colors. Shoes are the same. With tops, with everything else, you can just have fun with it. But the ones that is difficult, shoes and pants. So yeah.
But I like the idea, but sometimes by the time you want to buy another pair, it's not available. And depends which brand too, right? Some brands they're just not available because oops. Oh, I can't enlarge it. Can I? No, it's not. So these are the ones that well,
Mm.
this is a random day in my city, but I wore the same ones during our meetup. And you see how like my feet looks narrow and all slender, but my feet are actually flat. Like so where the middle of my feet normally would look collapsed, but because this one has a sling back, so the sling back goes all around the feet and also the ankle, so it hides the flatness of where it collapses, if that makes any sense. I'm going to show the shoe too.
They look really nice, actually. It's small, but I can see it. I like the. Is that like a pattern on the top?
Yeah,
A
it's a
bow, is it?
bow. Let me get out of this and show you. So this is the one.
Oh yeah, that's
See?
cute.
So it has a bow here. It's black on black,
Mm.
sorry, but there's a
Yeah.
texture. It's cute little bow, and this is the. I think for the other two, if I got in 38, they would fit better. But again, like the other style, I think even with the 38, my feet would just look collapsed. So like it would look really big right here where my feet, because it doesn't
Right.
come up as much. Like it just cuts off more lower. So my feet looks like it's bigger, but it's not. This one comes up more, right? The fabric. So it
Mm.
hides the collapsed part of my feet. And then
And it
it
gives you a bit
also
of
really
support as well,
nicely
right?
goes around, and it's breathable because it's sort of like partially opened. This material also has sort of like a nice, they describe it as like a nice breathable something. I mentioned it in my video. I forget all the terms, but um, they're good. They're not leather though. They're all man-made material. Um, But yeah, and it's made of recycle, like the top here. Is it the top? Is it the top, or is it parts of the shoe is made of recycled bottles, which is like one of the nice initiative that they have. So yeah, I will say this one is really really cute. If you're gonna try it, I recommend this one because I really really like this shoe. This is the one that I think it's also really cute. You can walk in them, and then they're actually really elegant. I wore it with the dress too, the skirt and the top on our meetup. Also here, I was trying on the bag from a subscriber, the member that we met up with, and I was wearing it here. So you can see they look quite dressy as well.
Yeah, they look really nice. Vivia. I think I saw this brand being promoted by Jamie Chua as well. She
What
did
about
a
Jimmy
video.
Chua?
Jamie Chua, the socialite, which has a lot of Hermes bags. Jamie Chua, yeah, that's her name. So she was doing a video on going out for brunch or something, and then at the beginning, she's the first YouTuber that I saw promote this brand, Vivia.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know she did.
Yeah, she had like
Okay.
3 or 4 pairs of shoes, and they were cute. They were cute, but I was just thinking like, nah, Jamie Chua's not gonna wear Vivia again.
I don't know if she would, but I saw the question from Corinne, and I'm just offering my
But it
opinion
did
on
look
them.
pretty cute. They have quite a few cute designs. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only tricky part, right, is that you try your best to pick styles based on what you see on a picture, and that is hard to translate into if it will fit your shape of feet, right, and your anatomy. So that is the only tricky part. Like I said, all 3 styles look okay on me, but I will say the one that is like the best is that one. And you don't know until you try them, right?
True.
So that is the only tricky part. Um, all 3 were comfortable, but again, everyone's anatomy is a bit different. I will say the most comfortable is that one because I don't know why for that one it's set to size up, and then the other ones it says true to size. So I just went true to size, but for me, I felt like I should have just gotten them all in 38. Again, because I have that long toe and then my flat feet, so it's sort of like a combination of just maybe for me, true to size is just 38. I didn't really have to go. Oh, well, 38, which is half size bigger than my normal size, actually. Yeah.
Interesting. I like the fact that this brand you can wash. Apparently, you can
Yes.
throw it in a washing machine and you can
Yes.
wash the shoes, which I think it's great. You can keep your shoes clean and last longer.
I think I was more impressed by because when you first read about them, right, it's made of recycled bottles, and it's made with like a breathable technology on the sole, blah blah blah. But until you see and feel the material, you don't feel how it translates. Like, how does it go from bottles to this? So I was more impressed by the end product when I saw it and was really feeling the shoe. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's how it feels to wear sustainable, recycled, like made from recycled material. And yeah, they were really cute. Like, I will say all the styles are really cute, but does it mean that it will fit everyone's feet shape? Probably not. Yeah, because I have flat feet, so I have to have shoes that make me look like I don't have flat feet. So that was one of the big challenge for me.
I was just looking through all the comments. I think that's the last. Oh wait, we've got a new question here.
Golden Goose?
Yep, let me pull it up. Jamel Sydney. Does anyone own Golden Goose sneakers? I just bought a pair of their Pure Star sneakers and they feel very comfy just walking around them. Hopefully they will stay comfy long term. So I used to have one pair of Golden Goose. I actually sold it, I think, early this year. And it's not because it's not comfortable. I got the wrong size. I should have sized. I think I sized up, if I'm not mistaken, which was incorrect because they actually, for me, I should have sized down. Can't remember right now, but I know when I got them, they were half size too large. But even with that, even I think once I got the right size, they would be perfect, like really, really comfortable. Because it's soft and the leather it's quite like, is the right word, malleable? It's like it just hugs the foot quite nicely. In terms of the arch support, it doesn't really have it, so you'll need to put your own insole. For me, it's no issue. But yeah, the shoes are really, really comfortable. They're so soft. So I sold it because I have an intention to get the right size for myself. I just bought one size too large, half size too large.
I'm trying to see. Oh, maybe it's this one. I'm going back in the comments and I think I found it. Let me know if this is the one, because here's the comment or question actually. What do you think of the LV mini loop bag? I was trying to look for mini loop. I couldn't find anything, but I found the loop bag, which is the one that we talked about already in the past. So this one.
Which one is the mini? Which one is the loop?
I don't know what the mini loop is, but the loop is this one. So is it the same? So I actually tried this, but you tried this bag as well. So I tried this bag. I think it's okay. A few thoughts. It's very well made. It's so well made. The construction, you can feel it's substantial. It's already pre-patina, the leather. It's microfiber line. The zipper was so smooth. It's just so, it feels very substantial. Having said that, is it practical? Depends what you're looking for, right? Like I feel like this is one of those bags where, because it's like a rounded shape, your phone will be slanted this way, your wallet will be slanted that way, and just things will just be kind of not really neat inside, right? It's just whatever, however you can shove it in. And also, if you have a larger phone, it still fits, but it's kind of a pain in the butt, right, to get it in and out, because it is quite small. The interior is a microfiber line, but it's just the shape and just how it feels constricting. It's a zipper, it goes around like this, and you're dealing with this rounded shape. So construction wise, it's beautiful. The bag looks awesome. The bag looks cute on, but practically speaking, I don't think it's the best, right? So if you're not bothered by that, then yes, go for it. Those are my thoughts.
I agree, because I tried it in, I think you were telling me about it and I saw it in store. I was like, oh, I'll try, and I send you some pictures. My first impression is that it's quite small for a bag that looks not big, but for a bag that I just thought I would be able to fit a bit more. It's just the construction of it being a U shape. You do lose quite a bit of space at the sides. And then the dip of the zip, which is also a U, you do lose that top layer as well. So actually the bag, I would say 50% is actually usable. 50% of the space, right?
Yeah.
Where you can actually just put your phone and maybe a wallet, and the rest is just
however you can squeeze in the corner or whatever.
Squeeze your lipstick at the corner near the, right there at the corner, stuff your so space wise it was a little disappointing. I'll say that. But the bag, wow, it's really a looker. It's got nice hardware. The zip felt like really nice and I don't know, smooth as LV bag should be. There's a nice compartment on the outside, a zipper compartment. I love the 2 strap options. It comes with the chain, and then the top strap can also be adjusted. So you could wear it as a shoulder bag, or you could extend it and make it a crossbody bag. So I think in terms of how it looks, how fashion forward it looks and fun, really nice. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I think that's about that about sums it up. It's if you're buying it just for the look, then yeah. But if you're looking to really use this bag and think that it's gonna be a handy in and out bag, it's not gonna be.
Doesn't fit much at
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just reading the comments, and I tried to look which ones they are. The Ankara loafers are my absolute favorite. I bought them on sale and wants to reorder. So I looked it up. I'm like, which ones are they? And I think I have seen them. Oh yeah, they do look very nice. It's sort of that okay, so this is the US website. Let me share. They look very nice. Maybe I should try to I don't know if I've ever seen them in store, but like next time I do, I'll try to try them
I
out.
actually saw them during the sale.
You did?
I
Oh.
did, but I didn't try them because if I'm not mistaken, I think they only had it in silver. And I don't
Ah.
know. I now that I think of it, I should have picked them
Yeah, the
up
silver
because
would be nice actually. I
yeah,
like
I didn't
silver.
know. I was just like, oh, silver. It didn't click in my head, at that point in
Yeah.
time. But now I'm like, oh man, because I just bought a pair of silver heels,
Uh-huh.
which is made to order with just like a store here in Singapore. And I was like, oh my gosh, silver is so good.
Silver is the best neutral if you don't want to go for white
Yeah.
or like silver goes with white outfit, black outfit, almost anything in between. But yeah, silver, it's okay. You can see it. You can go to the next sale. But
Yeah.
I just don't think I've seen this shoe. And then this, I guess this is the new. This is really out there. Has many studs. I'm not sure if I'm as attracted to this one, but the one, just that normal one I saw earlier was nice. This
Yeah,
one,
this is nice.
yeah, this one looks quite nice. And I still, I have the gold royal, the black Paris, and then I have the white in the what's the name again? But anyway, my white loafers are the ones that hurt me. So I have to not replace. I mean, I still wear them, but like if I could replace for another pair that's actually doesn't hurt me, so it would be better.
Okay, I'm at the bottom. There's a question here from VV Star. Two same. Okay, will you do an episode discussing LV times Yayao Kusama? What do you think of this collection? Thank you. So several years ago when they did, she also had the collaboration with the pumpkin and a lot of dots. I think that collaboration was beautifully done. It's unique and there were so many nice pieces. But for this new collection, I guess we could do a live next when we come back from our break and talk about it. Yeah, I saw some photos on Foxy LV's Instagram and not impressed. Honestly, not
I'm
impressed.
looking at the Google pictures.
They
I'm not
look
sure if
like
all of them are recent, but I'm just looking.
yeah, they're not. They're not. Oh well, why don't we just keep it for a live? We can definitely do a
Yeah,
live on
sure.
that. I think more pictures are rolling out. Maybe this is just the initial drop of a collection. There could be more unique pieces. There could be more runway pieces that will just blow your mind. So why don't we wait a little bit and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, we've got 10 minutes. So let me just pull another question from the bottom. Viv P. Reviews on the Hermes Kelly sneakers. It has such an iconic look. Oh, yeah. I don't have it. Do
Me
you have it?
neither.
I don't have it. I have a few sneakers, but yeah, I don't have this one.
I saw them. I was
Mm.
just at Hermes on Wednesday with my friend Nettie, and she was picking it out. She's like, "Oh, these are so cute." I'm like, "Oh yeah, they're really, really popular, right?" The thing is, like, because even though I know they're popular, I don't just try on every shoe because I'm just so scared of just buying the wrong shoe or if they hurt me. And like if I don't
Mm.
really need that style of shoe, I just normally don't bother trying. Because I have my favorite pair of like that kind of white sneaker look is the Chanel ones that I own, which you find them narrow, but I find them really nice actually. Again, like you would think that, oh, I find them comfortable, you find them narrow. It's like you would think that they should suit most people, but it's just everyone's anatomy is so different. So um because those are my favorite already, I don't go above and beyond my way to go try different ones because I stick to the ones that I know works. So but maybe I should try them one day. They are quite hard to come by in your size. Like even though
Mm.
they have it on display sometimes, they'll have, let's say, whatever size they have on display is whatever they have in stock,
Mm.
right? Usually if it's like a 39, then they'll only have a 39 or a 40 or 41. They won't have any size down. Or if it's a 35, then they won't have any size above that. It'll probably be just the small size. So I didn't check, but I agree they're really cute. I think I saw on one of Maria's video that hers broke. Yeah, her like one of the Kelly strap came off, or Kelly, I don't know,
Oh
something broke.
no.
Yeah, I don't know how, but I think she just has to like send them away to have them repaired, which will take months. So
Mm.
I don't know. I just remember seeing that in one of her vlog or something. Can't remember which one exactly. It's a little while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's some comments coming back about the Kelly buckle. So Kwa saying that the Kelly buckle area is so tight and
So
painful for me.
maybe that's why
I
it broke.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether because the Kelly lock is the two pieces that fall on top of each other. That's it. Like you can't. It's not like shoelaces where you can adjust and
Yeah.
if you got a thicker foot, you can loosen the straps. But
Yeah.
with this, that's it, right? You got to lock it in place. So I'm wondering if for some people, like if you have a thicker foot, then it will be painful. Or if you have a bony foot, like me, I'm quite bony at the top. I wonder if where it presses, it might actually pinch and press on top. Yeah, okay, yeah, so can't adjust. Okay, yeah. That would be a problem for me because I've got one foot that's a bit more
Mm,
bonier and like as a higher arch. I don't know how to call it. But yeah, it
mm,
might hurt. And maybe Maria's foot
mm.
is the same. So
But yeah,
the
I
pressure, you're walking, it just constantly
yeah,
pushing on the thing.
yeah, my thoughts exactly. I mean, it could still work for you, honestly. Everyone's foot is different. Like if for you is not tight, then maybe that's a good sign. But if it's tight, then maybe don't go for it. Um, I don't
Yeah.
think I'll bother trying them.
Yeah, I'm a more shoelace kind of girl. I like sometimes I want my shoelace to be loose, some a
Yeah,
bit
me too.
tight.
Also because I only slip on. So even if it's a
Mm,
tied up shoe, I tie it so that it's just enough space to slip on but doesn't come off my feet.
yeah.
Yeah. I I can't do otherwise. Like I can't be tying my shoes every time. It's impossible anyway. Oh, the bouncing sneakers. Don't you have them?
I do. I do. Yeah, they're comfortable. Just off the bat, they're comfortable, but they're white, which again, like I don't know, maybe they're kind of precious in a way. So I wear them when I know I won't. It's not a rainy day, and yeah, I don't know. I don't wear them as often as I should. Maybe I'll wear them today because I'm going out later, so I'll wear them today. But overall, they are comfy. I do know some people say that they hurt their back. Again, the back of the heel pinches because someone told me it's a little high. So when you walk and you bend, the back of your ankle kind of hits the back of the shoe, but not in a painful way. It's sort of again pressure, and it's because of the height of the back. So for me, I don't get it. I don't feel it. But I know some people do. So again, you better try this shoe in store. It's just the height of it at the back. But the
I
rest
can't
of the
remember
shoe,
if these are the ones that I tried when I was with Clara, but I didn't like them.
mm,
I was
mm.
like, nope, not coming home with me for sure. Like it felt uncomfortable in a very different way. Possibly what you're describing. But I'm not sure if it's the same shoe. I'm not sure.
It's the one with the H at the back. Let me see.
Possibly. Let me see. Uh, because I know you girls have been raving about them, and then so I can't. No, maybe that's not the one that I tried. No, it's not this one. It's not this
We
one.
have two. We have one is the bouncing and one more is the advantage.
Maybe
Advantage.
it's that one. I didn't like that one.
Yeah, the advantage for me, I like it, but it is definitely a little heavy.
Yeah, it was the heaviness, but also something about
This is the one.
it was very it was very wide for me actually. I thought it made my feet look ginormous. Oh no, is it
Right.
even this one? It's maybe not even this one. Oh yeah,
So these
this.
are the bouncing. These are the bouncing sneakers, and they are comfortable for me. Except that you see this bit here. Let me just open this one. You see this bit here, the back here.
Mm-hmm.
So some people say that it's a little high, so it as you walk, it sort of presses against the back of your
Yeah,
heel
okay.
here. Like yeah, I see this one.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it
yeah,
presses
yeah.
here. For me, um, maybe because I'm kind of used to wearing sport shoes, I don't feel it. Right, I don't feel that pinch at the back here, but I understand. Like I understand where they're coming from. Like okay, it is a little higher than regular for walking shoes. So gotta try it lah. For sure, you gotta try these shoes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see this question, which is kind of general. If you're buying your first Chanel, but only one or maybe for a long time, mini or small?
Your
Mini or
first
small?
Chanel.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe only for a long time. You know? Maybe in the past I would have said the mini rectangular, but if that's your one and only, I'll go with the gold hardware and I'll go with the small.
Yeah, good answer. I would say exactly the same thing because for a long time I would always have chosen the mini because price point, and it is a very versatile bag. But
I
if
have
you
it right here because I'm going to do my video
yeah,
later. So,
but if you're gonna compare but if I'm comparing the two, I feel like longevity wise, the classic is you cannot beat a classic. They're both sort of similar capacity too, so the only caveat, I will say this, the only exception is unless the mini has a top handle. For me, when the mini comes with a top handle, and if you can get the caviar version, which I know you cannot, but like, then that is a game changer. Then it's, then it's, then I might choose the mini because it comes with a top handle. So
yeah.
that is the only exception.
I think so. I think maybe you're right if there's a top handle, but if you're going to go with something that you know it's one and only for a long, long time, this would be it will also be a safer investment because who knows what's going to happen in a long, long time, right? So, yeah, I would go with that.
Because I'm thinking about which one I would use more also even when I travel with, because I was debating for this trip that I just came back from, I was debating between bringing my Chanel Classic small or the top handle, and in the end I still went with the top handle because it was just a bit more compact,
Mm-hmm.
and I liked having the top handle and just literally holding it everywhere I go. So I think that is a huge game changer, to be honest. So if it was same material, right? Both are caviar, gold hardware, black. I'm gonna choose the top handle actually, but I know it's
Mm,
not possible anymore because they don't make the caviar version anymore. So in the end, I would still be choosing the small classic.
yeah.
And we are at the 2 hour mark, which
Wow.
I know already. So let me see. Is there a last question that we have skipped, or I
I
thought I
think
saw
that's
something
about
else?
it. Let's see. Let's see. Bouncing sneakers was the last one I saw. Review Kelly. Yeah. Golden Goose. Yep. That's the last one. Okay. One more. A late entry. Last one. Okay. Here we go. MY. Has anyone tried the Lorna bag? So showed once recently, and they offer great experience and all custom made, but I've never seen them in person. The Queen had them.
Really?
Well, if
I
the
don't
Queen
even
had
know
it,
this.
let me just see what brand is this. Lorna. The Lorna bag. Oh,
It keeps
Lorna.
showing. Okay. Well, no, because I don't recognize this brand, and I don't think we have this brand here. So I will say no. It looks like it's a London. Is it a London brand? Yeah, I
Looks
think so,
like it.
isn't it?
And
Is
it's
it from
carried by the
London?
Queen. It's very proper, huh? Let's see the
Here,
heritage.
let's just share some pictures and then we can end with this. So this is one picture I found. So quite nice, almost like a Kelly shape, and then has that. This is the logo, I suppose. And then no. Is it? Is this one also another one? Oh, it is. It's also that little. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's actually quite pretty.
Hmm.
It's a very classic shape, right? It's quite pretty.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it looks like Kelly, but not a Kelly. And it has straps, it has a back pocket. Doo, doo, doo.
Yeah, do you see what I see? Oh no, you don't see what I see because I clicked on something else and then here, stop sharing and then
Yeah, it's
share
not
this.
really agree with Joe. It's not really my style. It's though
Here.
it does look like the Kelly, but it doesn't really look like a Kelly as well, huh? Like
I mean, it just has sort of like, overall that kind of flat bag with the top handle, right, shape. And it has that little hole there. Like if you look closely right here, there's like a little loop there to attach a strap. So that's quite neat.
mhm.
It's very structured. Can't see the inside, but it looks like there's a fold right here. So it could be 2 compartments. I don't know. Let's see. Does it show in the video?
Well, they have a website.
Yeah, that's from their website.
Okay. Yeah. It looks kind of. Yeah, Clara's right. It looks very formal.
It's nice. It's nice. I think um if you like it, you like it. I don't know. I can't say there's anything. Yeah, it is made in
Wow.
England. Yeah. It's quite nice.
Can...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. 2 compartments.
It looks a bit stiff though. I don't know if it's
Mm,
because this one is the patent leather, but it looks quite
mm,
nice. At the end of the day, there's so many bags that we don't know and we can't
mm.
buy them all. So if you like it and if you can check it out, why not? If you like it, go for it.
Yeah, yeah.
right?
It's quite nice looking. I mean, it looks. I can get along with it, but I'll have to see it and have to see. Like maybe they'll come to Singapore.
Or maybe we're just snobs. We're very biased.
Nothing
I'm
beats
very
the
biased, right?
queen's
Like
bag.
I'd
Okay,
choose.
nothing beats the queen's bag. The
No,
queen's
no, no. I
bag.
don't care if it's a queen's bag. Like honestly, nothing beats a good old Chanel classic flap or a good old Birkin. Like to me, those are just the it bag for me, right? That's what it is. So, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. It was sort of half chit chat, and I think it was just a nice way to reflect back on
Yeah.
some lessons learned in 2022. And then, yeah, keep checking on our community tab between Kat and I. We will post sometime between the next 2 weeks, and be subscribed to both our channels so you are notified of our next luxury live show. And we'll see you next year. Happy holidays, happy Merry
Happy
Christmas,
holidays, Merry
and Happy New Year.
Christmas.
And yeah, we'll see you next year. Oh my gosh, already 2023.
Yeah, so fast.
Okay. Anyway,
See you in
bye guys. Take
2023.
care.
Bye.